little Palo Santo to start this moment. Blessings to everyone who finds me here. Thank you for finding me here. This is the why of the JoY. Past, present, and future. I can put it all in a nutshell here for you. I'll step up to my soapbox, and this is JoJ, Resolutionary Times. So if I could go back into why I'm here, I will. So in 1965, I was born in Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley actually, and born to parents in a very religious background. Father was a minister, never held a church. He was a minister to minister, so he would be sent and travel the world with the message of faith and the Jesus Christ gift. And my mom was also a very spiritually religious person. We started with the complexities though, because there was such a power dynamic in the origin that I started in, where my mom's mom was a minister, and she, I guess, ruled with a certain power of authority, and to the point that when I was 1 year old, on my mom's hip, we walked out of her mother's church and never looked back. My mom never saw her mother again. So then as I'm growing up, the faith is just absolutely intense and being cultivated on all sides. Every meeting, every outing, everything was around the Christian faith. So I was baptized, I'm guessing around 10 or 11. And I was a little out of my body, you know, it's like, okay, this is what we do here, and so I'm going to be baptized, and I'm not here to be in any opposition to what's being offered, so sign me up, let's do this. So I was baptized, and yet I was always sort of on the outside looking into everything that was going on. The love was profound, and yet the fear was also profound. With my mom's beginning, and then stepping away from her family's, her mother's church, my mom had an atmosphere of fear as far as she felt that she was being followed. The grandmother was written up in a book with Jim Jones, and as I understood it, you know, was threatening and menacing and potentially had followers killed, is what my uncle and my mom both believed in the absence of their mother for the rest of their life. So there was always this intensity behind the scenes of something that you're not safe about, right? So in that bipolarity of the faith and being unsafe, I was getting a little bit screwy. I mean, like, it just was hard to relax, and I just had anxiety issues, and it was just really quite intense to really ever feel like I was where I needed to be, always anxious. So at 16, after, you know, having to just be so creative in the faith and fear to do anything, you know, to investigate my own journey and path, I had to just say, oh, I'm going over here, and I'd had to go over there because there was no faith about what was happening with me, like the offspring of this age. So anyway, so I moved out at 16, and when I moved out, what was on my heart was, I just don't want to lie anymore. This is what my mission was in 1982 when I left home at 16. So on that mission, my life just then started to take me where being a feeling, if I think about languaging who I am as elemental within the astrological, I think of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animated series on Nickelodeon. So my dad was of the Earth tribe, my mom was of the Fire tribe, and I am of Grand Trine, Water tribe and yet my son is of the Air tribe. So my moon is of the Fire tribe. And so we all have all these elements working within us. So I had to develop my watery air. It's like, oh, I'm swimming and drowning over here, but saturated. So that's where the gift has come into what is happening now. So as I went to cultivate, how do I not be anxious? How do I keep the faith without compromising my integrity? How do I build joy that is not like, oh, come on, let me just make you a sandwich? You know, no. It wasn't a song and dance. How could I be authentic without like efforting? So as my faith came out of the Bible, and that is my roots, Jewish, Christian roots, ancestral, goes all the way back to more than that, but if I cooked it down. Then as I moved forward, the Tao Te Ching to me was the book that just really untangled a lot of the mental relationship to me, as far as the Tao Te Ching, preferably Stephen Mitchell's pocket edition, is where I learned the path of non-effort, where if you wait long enough and you're not eating out of just like mental anxiety, you wait long enough, your stomach's gonna growl and you're gonna get up and make yourself something to eat. God willing, you have something there. So it's about learning how to follow what is happening here versus, strategizing every detail. So it's not a mental experience. It's a dawning through the physicality experience. So winding that through from the past, I then became, always dancer. I mean, always in my home, if a good song came on, I'm like, okay, ooh, 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 this feels good, this feels good. And then I just like click into a body part of what I knew. But then the world, you'd have to step back into the mental place, because you certainly didn't get the job done dancing unless you were like, reduced to a pole somewhere, or, then studied, put yourself through the authorities of dance and became a dancer. Neither of those were my path. So it became this ecstatic path. As I understand it, ecstasy is like your individual placement. Like no stars are on top of each other. We are all stars and we need our space to shine, and we are placed a certain space apart for our individual unique signature to emerge. So this brings me to now. Now, coming out of a time of no safety and yet extreme faith, having to marry, why was there no safety? What does that mean? Why? In the atmosphere of God is love. What the heck is this bipolarity that makes one like whoop whoop and can't even feel like who they actually are below the head? I just had to figure this out. So with the gift of dance and the gift of yoga brought me, dance, tuned me up a little bit. Well, first swimming, dance, yoga, then brought me to Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, The Art of Living is where I learned my meditation practice. This is where I learned how to sit still, like officially in the Sudarshan Kriya. So there's many practices out there, and they do find you, and I was found with that practice in the right moment. And that was about 20 years ago now, if not more. Time is hilarious, so it's probably more. So in all the sitting meditation, I started to write music. Had a wonderful friend who allowed me to be a beginner and yet didn't discredit me for not being accredited. So I wrote, I danced, I breathed, I sat still, and I witnessed through my own emotional body where I was, what's happening now, how does this all come together? So right now I'm in this middle point between staying, just surviving in my faith with all the threats, to this point where now I know that the threats are behind me, as a memory, because we are certainly coming into a new age, a new time in God's world. So right now I'm learning how to say it out loud from just a lot of witnessing of what I've witnessed. And what's come through now is, the heart-body compass, which seems kind of like abstract, and what's the point? There's plenty of other things to be doing. But really, the heart-body compass is really the armor of God. As mind is the creative force of the universe, and the magnetic structures out in the world to draw our attention out to all these details outside of us, that we would never build the essential concentration and internal saturation of the mind in this present moment through the vehicle of the body in the material world, here to ground it down and claim it. So this is where I am now, in learning how to express this, and I will continue, because I am the bridge to this idea. I didn't create it, God placed it there, and it's being revealed through me. Now this relates to so much. Dan Winter and the magnetic X, I will be speaking to him one day and just giving him a huge hug. At the same time, I am looking for my people where I get to like, ooh, we're doing parallel, complementary, cooperative exchanges of art. So that's just one person that I mentioned to that I have my appreciation for this work. So right now I'm languaging this consistent scientific template of how we the people can stand at the very same place together and yet not compromise our integrity or our first information and signature, and be cultivating that as an activity every day in the context of like, well, no, just two of us are alike. We all stand in the same place of God's placement here in the world, in this world, but not of it, of course. So then as I look to the future, this is a dedication and a commitment to sharing a template of joy, JoY, going back in time, repairing the nets, collecting all the ancestral data, just being present to what came before, not even mentally, just intuitively, emotionally, physically, bringing the light all the way down to the ground, and then rooting into that material world, and then calling that energy up once more, blooming into the outer world, where we're co-creating this new world together. Now, I love Jesus, and I'm a wordsmith, and I just play with words, and what's come through for me is Jesus is G for God, is us. G is us. Jesus, yes. Christ, I am. As you will do greater works than I, as Christ had put. And we are here to do those works. And that is of an embodiment. This is like where we can really give hugs and really connect. Technology, the medium for me, is second to just if you were standing right here, boy, I would just be looking into your heart, just looking into your eyes and standing still and being present to your greatness as we're here to be great. And the physical body in the past, how we all connected was through the pain we were all being put through. Oy, Ishmael, oh my God, this is hard. Physical body, transcend it. Get out of your body, wait for the afterlife. Oh, I can't wait, this place is hell. That's just like programming what they told us so that they could like rob all of the sensual experiences for themselves and put so much shame in us and misinformation that we would just be like, excuse me, just breathing shallowly and just trying to like keep our head above water where the murk and the robbers were. But we're taking it back. We're taking back the embodiment and all of this rich soil and ocean of consciousness and bringing it deep into our being and centering it in our heartbeat and returning it to the world. Yeah. So now with 2020 is like in a minute from now, and this conjunction in January, which as astrologically people who observe the cycles of the heavens, this is rare and special and such an opportunity for us to be conscious and really engaged in this hour of what's coming through us as the people, as we purge these ancient ways. By shining the light of them on them, we have to see what we're coming out of to really draw that line and really step out of it, okay? So with that, I mean, I appreciate the X-22 report. I appreciate the QAnon movement. I appreciate my president. I appreciate him. While he was never a personality that I identified with, and I did not vote for him initially, he will have my vote. Because I understand why he is so hated is because the robbers that have been robbing all of these things to keep the world so imbalanced are the light is coming on them. And investigations are happening. And its indictments are filed. So we're going to see some things go down. And if we don't know why, then we can be spun and we can be tricked once more, some more. Be stole out of our destiny of greatness as a human being species, right? Come on, we can do this. So my dedication for the future, as I appreciate all of the people who are digging up the truth as far as what's happening now, and I'll just let those people express it for now. When I'm not on here, I am investigating and I am ranting sometimes, just to say, thank goodness this shit's coming out. I've been just living, like getting to stray ahead of the lie, And now the truth is descending upon all of us. We are here to be the co-creators of this new time and fresh time. And this isn't about relinquishing what God said in the Bible. This is about stepping into. We are the boots of the Spirit. We are the hands of the Spirit. We are the ones who deliver this all to the future. If I think about my decade of 1965 and then into the 70s, anyone who's speaking the truth from the heart about it for all of us was taken away, taken out. So we just have to keep it alive while we're here. This is my commitment as we're stepping into a 2020 vision. We are all in this together. Now that we see the truth of what's emerging from what's been behind us, we put it behind us, but not before we then sift through it and see all of the details. Okay, yep. Yeah? So now I stand here and I'm going to be committed to expressing what's happening here, because it does seem abstract even to me when I go to speak straight at it. But it's not. It's really not. Simply Rigid Cosmic Romance is a conversation to nurture this awakening that we're in right now. It's a little feisty, it's poetic, it's so unusual. It's just playfully serious and sober, all mixed into one, dedicated to the I am presence, the faith and the connection at the center of everyone on the planet that is willing to step into their greatness and awakening. It's a physicality, it's a heartbeat, it's a warmth, it's a hug, it's a connection, it's a look into the eye of your neighbor, it's a be present with each other if you can. Slow down, take a breath. This is my commitment. Now the digital age, boy, those guys, whatever is the anti-force would love us to just be like, what's my password? How do I get this all going? I must network. Oh my God. I'm going to do some of that, but just know that I'm in the street meeting with the people that I walk by every day and sharing as much love that I can in every moment. And then I'll be learning how to share it here. So my commitment for 2020 is that there's a scientific template that puts us all at the same place in the same time, while it doesn't compromise your integrity and your greatness, but it does take a little distinction between what's your inside information and what's your outside information. And your inside information is a feeling. Once you get down to the nitty-gritty, it's about what is your push and your pull. Push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. Spherical information, this is my consciousness, is here with me. Okay, so I thank you for finding me here. I'm happy to find you here. If you find anything here of value, on my website I do have a link where you can contribute to this work, JoY to the world in resolutionary times. If you wanted any compasses sent to you, you could find my email address there and you could ask for some support. I'm also going to be offering readings, your heart body reading that correlates with your zodiac chart. So we really are an orbit of consciousness, and when we use our natal chart and its progressions as we evolve into this material, it's really about really anchoring and standing in our first information, which is your own constellation of sorts, your own orbit of consciousness. With that, I thank you so much for finding me here. The center of me recognizes the center in you. The heavens within me, I acknowledge the heavens within you. The physical world that gives us shape and form and is the container that we can feel our fluid nature contained within, recognizes the fluid nature and emotional information contained in you as we center the above and the below in the heart, in the heart, in the heart. I'm here to receive, but first I see that I'm giving. So here I give to you my love and information and inspiration, and I receive all the love and blessings that you have back to send to me, and I appreciate it. It's been a lonely journey, but really only because it looks like it outside, but when one stays in the center, we are always with the source, and one's never really alone in that central place. So with this, I just bow to my ancestors that gave me this intensity and this passion for truth and faith and love and joy. And I just stand here as a commitment and an offering of that healing and that resolution to everything that came before. And I recognize to you your ancestor lineage of energetics that stands behind you, and I bow to this holy place that the source of the oneness put us all in the same world. And now we get to heal all the fragments and shatters. We resolve that behind us, sending love to your ancestors and just coming back into the heart, feeling that panel and plate of consciousness of that awareness that those ancestors stand with me. And in this first position then, I just remain fluid. My heart faces the future. We've got the 2020s ahead. It's kind of like the 2020 shimmy. This is the slow shimmy right now. And then we just feel safe as we're here to embody our greatness, shine it into the future without reaching, just radiation, radiate from the innermost, allowing that magnetics, that pull of the feminine innermost to draw everything to us that is necessary. The community, the family, the like-hearted people, that we know that we're not alone in this world, going through these great changes. We are in this together. And with that, I extend all of this joy and all of this love towards the future as we enter this 2020 vision. So I will keep always like compasses nearby. And I give them out in all directions. First position, first information. Absolute joy. So I bow out now from JoY to the world, entertaining resolutionary times. I thank you for finding me here.